All right, let's get it started with questions for Coach Clark Lea. Robbie, why don't you go ahead?
Clark, from your perspective, what kind of went wrong there in the first 7 minutes or so of the third quarter where it fell apart?
Well, I felt like we came out. I was proud of the kickoff coverage to start the half, and I thought the defense came up with a great stop there to grab some momentum. I felt like we had played well, or at least positioned ourselves enough to be in a tight game, which is the formula. And I was proud of the defense, the way they responded there coming out, and then they ran a fake punt and well done, well executed on their end. But that's something that we have to be. We got to play 3 phases of complementary football, and it's an example of where this program's coming up short right now. And there's execution elements to that, but there's also coaching elements to that, and that starts with me. And from there, it's the same story as the first half. When we gave up chunk plays on defense, they scored touchdowns. When we forced them to drive the field, they stalled out. And the breakdown there in the early in the second half was about having to eliminate chunk gains. I thought particularly to the pass to the tailback on second and extra long was a tough play, and one that again, that's an execution thing, but it's also something we can do a better job on our end, because they had hit that in the first half as well, and just things to clean up. But the primary issue was the fake punt that allowed for their drive to extend, and then I thought offensively, we weren't able to counterpunch on our end. We threw the interception. They gave them a short field. And those are recipes, just like in the Georgia game. Those are recipes for disaster in this league. And, for us to come on the road and win a game in a tough environment, we have to finish our drives with 7 points. We have to make our field goals. We have to flip the field on punts, and we can't turn the ball over.
Gentry?
Yeah, Clark, you had 4 possessions in a row there in the first half that got on Florida's side of the field. No points with the field goals, and then the one right before halftime. How frustrating was that stretch?
Oh, it's very frustrating. I think when you look at the time of possession in the first half, we were executing on our formula to try to control the game, to try to tax their defense and stay on the field. But we have to find some chunk gains, and we have to find the end zone. And there's also some little things like, I can remember a slant to Shep on a third down conversion that we have to bury. I mean, it was thrown, and it's just about throwing and catching and finishing. So little things like that we can get better at, but on the whole, making our plays to win on the ball down the field, finishing drives with touchdowns. I mean, if you can make your field goals and score touchdowns when you do get on their end of the field, you're in a tight game. And now all of a sudden, the energy shifts, and we're able to put some pressure on them in the third and fourth quarter, and find a way to win it. So obviously, it's never a good day offensively when you don't score, and we had some opportunities, and we need to be better.
Chris Lee?
Hey, Clark, you mentioned the first half execution, the missed opportunities. You finally make a play, and it comes off the board and replay, and then you have the slow start in the second half. It's easy for teams in that spot with the backdrop of what you guys have been through to let that be kind of a deflating moment coming out for the second half. Did you think it was, or was it just a case of getting outplayed to start the third quarter?
Emotionally, I felt like our team was in it. Obviously, I thought our defense was fighting tooth and nail in the second half. Again, the explosive plays, which I've talked about. I mean, that's where we have to be better on that side of the ball. They were going against a physical run game, and outside the counter that hit in the first half, they got down to the 1. I felt like we did a pretty good job of pushing the ball out onto the perimeter. They were able to get some chunk gains in the passing game, but I was disappointed in the way the offense came out in the second half to start. I felt like there were things that we did in the first half that gave Florida problems. I felt like, we could pick right up where we left off, which is both the formula to shorten the game by controlling the game on offense, and then let's hit on some of those shots. Let's hit on some of those execution points, and let's put some pressure on them. And that was the message coming out of halftime. Like I said, I thought defensively, we answered the bell in the hole, though, again, we were accountable for the chunk plays. I'm talking more emotionally. Offensively, we came out a little flat. We got to be better in that situation. So we will be. It's disappointing, but nothing we do about it now except for move forward and be better.
Aria?
So Clark, I have two questions. First of all, on the defense, it looked like, there was a little bit more pass rush today than there was in some of the previous games. Was there anything specifically that was working for that aspect, kind of getting to the quarterback a little bit more? And then also Rocco Griffin, what's his status going forward?
I thought that, defensively we played hard. I thought that Coach Mentor and his staff designed some pressures, and we were able to execute on those. And that helped us put a little more pressure on the quarterback, which was nice. As far as Rocco is concerned, I don't see him being out for foreseeable time, but we're going to follow up with him and make sure we get it all checked out. He's got an ankle he's dealing with right now, but he seemed to be okay. We'll see how it is moving forward.
Robbie?
Clark, with Joe missing the 3 kind of makeable field goals, I mean, if a kicker has the yips, how do you get him out of that, and how does it affect your strategy?
Well, I think the one in the second half was off a lost yardage third down. I think we had the mind to use all 4 downs there and try to convert on a 4th and short. And if I'm not mistaken, we took a sack. That forced us in the situation to kick. Look, we have faith and confidence in Joe. I mean, he's going to be as disappointed as anybody. He stepped up in big moments for us this season to this point. We'll look at the film and see what might have gotten him off kilter today. Again, disappointed in the lack of conversion on those attempts, but we have trust and faith in him, and he'll bounce back from that and be the kicker that we know he can be.
Chris?
Clark, it seemed like you called a different offensive game, the first half in particular, with the halfback option or the receiver option pass, some end arounds, getting the ball to the running back and passing in the passing games, things like that we haven't seen much of. What was your goal with some of those things as you reevaluated the offense? How well do you feel like you guys called the game from that standpoint?
Well, I'll hold off on broad judgment of the game until we're able to kind of look at it and unpack it. By design, our goal was to try to create some stress on the defense and isolate some matchups and move them around and find ways to get the ball on the perimeter. And we weren't having a lot of success inside, particularly early, running the football. And so it became a game where we needed to, look for our plays on the perimeter, and that included the running back. And then, across the 50, we wanted to take some shots. And unfortunately, we weren't able to hit our shots. They were able to hit theirs. We threw an interception on one of them, which was a design shot play out of an unbalanced formation. But this is about the evolution of the offense. It's about, you come into a season with base installation, and I think as the more you learn about your team, the more you learn about, ways that you can generate successful plays. You have to continue to adjust and adapt. And we're trying to find out what our personnel can do really well, put them in the best positions to do that. So there will be some things for us to build on. There will be some positive points coming out of this game where we were able to do some of the things that we set out to do. And I think right now for this program, that's where we'll focus. We'll focus on how we respond and how we build further into the things that we had success doing. And then also as a staff, identify those breakdowns in the complementary elements of the game and be better as a staff for this team.
That'll do it. Safe trip home.
Thank you.
Elijah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing?
There we go. Thank you, Elijah. If you have a question for Elijah McAllister, use the raise hand function. Chris Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, what did you see on your pick there, Elijah?
It was just, I just saw it there running throwback, and I kind of just made a play. It's a play that we practice a lot during practice, and I watched film and I knew that they had that in their playbook, so it's just something that I, used my preparation through the week and kind of put it on tape today. So it's cool.
Robbie?
Hey, Elijah. What was the difference for the defense between, the pretty competitive first half for you guys compared to the third quarter where things got away from you?
I wouldn't really say there was any real difference from the first half to the second half. We just got to continue to improve play by play, snap by snap, and series by series. And I think, we'll have a better showing next week in doing that, being consistent and transitioning from the first half to the second half.
Are you?
The pass rush was a little bit more successful today than in previous weeks. What was working on that in terms of, getting to the quarterback and just getting more pressure?
The same things that we've been doing from week one to now is the same thing we did this week. Just all the preparation that, coaches has given us throughout the week and the players have serviced each other has been important. The pass rush to work today. We just kind of just showed up today versus the other week. So it was good.
Gentry.
Yeah, Elijah, what do you guys kind of take from this game? Are you pleased at some of the progress, or doesn't really matter as much just because of the way the final score came out?
I think you're pleased in any situation in life when you progress in any area you can. And I think we took a step forward today. 1% better is what we like to say. And I think we did today. We can do that tomorrow with recovery and Monday with another walkthrough in practice, and then so on and so forth throughout the week and for our next opponent on Saturday.
Elijah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Cam, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, good. Robbie, you go ahead with the first question for Cam Johnson.
Hi, Cam. You guys moved the ball quite a bit. What maybe wasn't there, with respect to finishing those drives? What could have been better offensively in terms of actually getting the points on the board?
Yeah, like you said, we had a great day moving the ball, being able to sort of keep possession and also get yards. I think that when it comes down to it, it was a matter of just shooting ourselves in the foot, whether it be a penalty or somebody not focusing on the details for a play, and all of a sudden we have a loss instead of a gain. And just small things that we're going to be able to go back, look at the film, and we're going to be able to correct. And I know we're going to grow from that.
I guess as one of the leaders of the team, how do you, sort of evaluate this game and unpack it when you guys, did play fairly well in some areas, but it's still a 42-0 loss?
Yeah, I think that you have to go back and evaluate it honestly and just see, even though it hurts, you have to sort of look at the places where you grew at and emphasize that to the team and make sure that they understand, hey, we weren't as bad as the score may have indicated. We actually grew in some places. So the guys still are able to see that we're making progress, and they're able to see that we're actually doing good things. But then you have to also be honest with yourselves. You have to be honest with the guys and be able to say, but these are the places where we have to get better. And ultimately, those two combined are what's going to make us be a better team throughout the rest of the second half of the season.
Kendrick?
Yeah, Cam, kind of along those lines. Have you been able to see the team and the offense improve each week, as you're saying?
I definitely think we've improved each week. I think that over the season, we've become a lot more detailed. We've been able to run the ball a little bit better. We've been able to throw and catch extremely, a lot better than we were the first game. And I think that that's just going to continue to improve throughout the season. That's something that we emphasize each week. We make sure that we focus on all those little things every day, day in and day out. And so I think that you're just going to continue to see improvements on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball throughout the season.
All right, Chris, last one for us, please.
Hey, Cam, a lot of tough breaks in the first half. Sometimes you guys could have cashed in with points and didn't. You have the touchdown taken off the board. Is that a thing that gets in the team's head and lets it get you down and affects the second half start? Or was that just a case of the game just unfolded the way it did and they were just better?
Honestly, I think that we came out of halftime and we just didn't execute like we did in the first half. If you want me to be honest with you, I think that we as a team saw the way that we should have been in the game a lot. The game should have been a lot closer than it was in the first half. And we knew that. We knew that we had missed a couple opportunities that we probably should have scored on. And honestly, that sort of had all of us excited in the locker room. We were like, we're going to go out and win this game. So I don't think that had any sort of bearing in our minds. We were taught to win the response by Coach Lea all the time. And I think that we did that each time. And going into halftime, we were extremely confident that we were going to go back out. And I think that we just didn't execute in the second half.
Cam, thanks. Safe trip home.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.